adventurer with lots of money and not that much imagination, you'd probably try and climb the 7 summits, the highest mountain on each of the 7 continents. If you had lots of money and wanted to try something different, you could try and climb the 7 second summits, the second highest mountain on each continent. I've spent months filming for entrepreneur, mother and mountaineer Jenn as she races to become the first woman to do just that.
The brand Quit Proof is about staying true to yourself and making sure that you do not quit on what keeps you alive, what keeps you going, and what makes you you.
I did kind of embrace my ADHD on this one, so we'll be going down some rabbit holes. In Western Canada lies Whitehorse, capital of the Yukon Territory and where today's journey begins.
Where are we going? There's Tim right back here. We're on our way to Mount Logan. We're gonna do it on skis. 2 to 3 week expedition. We're hauling all of our own stuff. We're self-supported. It sounds like we're gonna be one of 3 teams on the mountain. So it's gonna be a secluded, remote expedition.
Standing at 5,959 meters deep within the Kluane National Park lies Mount Logan, Canada's highest peak and the second in North America. But before we can start dreaming of the summit, we need to find a way to the start. Basecamp sits at 2,800 meters and getting there is today's mission. In our way lie 180 miles of snow, rock and ice. 100 years ago, in the spring of 1925, Logan stood unclimbed. Hoping to change that, a team of 6 gathered in Alaska, led by Albert McCarthy. They departed a town by the same name, 138 miles northwest of their objective. With 10 horses, 21 sled dogs, and 5 tons of supplies, they marched into the unknown.
It took roughly 3 weeks to make it to base camp and another 6 before they'd reach the summit and escape by raft.
So the drive's going to be 2 to 2.5 hours to get to the airstrip. Once we're there, we'll start to shuttle people to the glacier, 2 at a time on the airplane.
With 100 miles still to go, the road ends. We're in Silver City, home to Icefield Discovery. Apparently they have a more modern solution to our logistical problem.
Enter the Helio Courier, which, as it turns out, is not exactly cutting edge.
The Helio Courier started its test flying in 1949. This type of airplane has been developed and service tested under rough operating conditions throughout remote parts of the world. Vital personnel and supplies can better be airlifted directly by these new types of low-cost STOL airplanes. STOL, also called STOL, stand for Short Takeoff and Landing.
If McCarthy had waited just 24 years, he could have swapped his 10 horses for 295, which hopefully turned out to be just as reliable.
We're waiting for weather. Maybe part of the team are going to fly in today, set up base camp. At the very end of the day, as you can see, it's kind of cloudy and covered, and we need good visual conditions to fly. Yeah, being a mountain guide, I'm a geographer by trade, by university, and I just couldn't do the sitting on a desk part of the work. So I think we have a pretty cool job. Making other people's dreams happen in the mountains. Often work takes you to the same place many times, and it's great to go new places. Logan is new for me, flying a little bit more old school than we fly in Denali, small aircraft, and it's an adventure.
Turns out our pilot is also a chiller.
What do you look for in a Tinder date?
What I look for what?
In a Tinder date in a girl.
Natural dude.
Or a boy. Or...
If they can ski.
Oh yeah, that's such a good one.
Yes.
Such a good one.
Really?
Alright, safe flight. Ciao, ciao.
All right. Well,
flying towards Mount Logan. That's where you guys want to go, right?
Yeah, I think that's where we want to go. But it looks like there's lots of good places to go around here.
Yeah, right now I'm just trying to gain some lift of those hillsides there to go over that ridge to our right. Because Logan is that way. But I don't know if I'll be able to cross that ridge quite yet.
So what would you do to gain height?
So like, you see those little clouds, sometimes it means there is like a lift underneath.
Okay.
So that's why I'm kind of following the hillside, trying to like find some free updrafts, but no luck so far.
How long have you been a pilot for?
About, like, in total, about 10 years. This company is 3 years. It's my third year.
What's it like flying in Alaska? Or in Canada even?
Pretty good. Yeah. Best way I've found to make money.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool job.
I'm just taking a little shortcut here to go straight to Logan, but when we pass that far ridge in the distance, we'll eventually fly over the Calscours Glacier again. One thing you can see very clearly is if you look on the side of the glacier, on the far side of the hill, you can see those cliffs. This shows you how much the glacier has melted over the years. So you can see how thick it used to be, how much that's gone down. Down here at the end of the glacier, the ice is around 100 meters thick, roughly 300 feet. But up at the top, when we'll be at the core of the ice field, the ice can be up to 1 kilometer in thickness, about 3,000 feet. Those little peaks are really going to get dwarfed by what's waiting for us further in the range. As a matter of fact, this park contains 14 of the 30 highest mountains in Canada. So this little area of the Yukon alone is half of the tallest peaks in this country. Hey, how's it going?
How do you feel when you're flying? What drew you to this?
It really depends. Generally, the first few flights of the day, I'm just waking up. And the next 2 flights, I'm hungry. And the next 2 flights, like the evening flights, I'm just like in the flow, just meditating. Alright guys, take a look at that.
So that's Logan out there to the right?
That's right, Logan in the distance.
What you reckon, Todd, is pretty special, huh?
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm amazed at all of the mountains out here.
You could spend a lifetime exploring, skiing new lines and climbing new lines. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like it stays very discreet
Yeah.
despite all of this. As a reference, like a normal year, you'd get about 50 people attempting Logan. I think Denali this year is like, I don't know, 1,000.
Yeah.
Something.
And always between 1,000 and 1,500.
Like, my craziest plane flight, like the one where I was the most white knuckle, was like, I had a job last year, was flying a float plane in BC. I was new to flying float planes, and I was like maybe 100 hours into my season, just getting the feel of the plane and stuff like that. Very rich clients come in, like VIP customers as far as the owner goes. He just puts them in whatever lakes they want and stuff like that. The middle of a work day, the owner just walks up to me and he's like, so yeah, we're gonna take them to like, it's like a special lake. We think it's fine, we've never been there, it's pretty far. You need full fuel to get there. You'll be fine. So I'm like, okay, let's go. So I start going and I have 3 hours of fuel and it's about an hour and 15 minutes away. So I can do the entire trip and come back with just the legal half an hour reserve. So it's like the furthest lake that we can possibly like service basically. And I keep going, and I get there and I realize it's a little ass crack of a tiny little lake, banana shaped, high up in the middle of a mountain pass. And I'm like, is that for real? Like, is that where I'm really supposed to land? So I took my time, did a few inspection passes, and I managed to land there. There was just enough room. I dropped those guys off and they are super stoked because it's a very, very nice location. And eventually I'm like, okay, it's time to take off. And I'm starting to sweat already because I'm like, oh my god, this is very short. And it's also like curved so that you have to start your takeoff, get your plane, like your float plane on the skid, like kind of like when you're doing it with a motorboat. Like it rises and you get it planning. So you have to get your plane planning. And as you're doing your takeoff with full power and the plane planning, you have to make this sharp left turn. So you have enough room to like keep getting your speed to actually lift off. So I managed to pull that off, get off the lake, and finally get airborne. And by that time, like I was probably like at like a 200 beat per minute heartbeat or something. And it took me like about an hour out of the hour and a half flight to calm down and land. And I just told the owner I'm never going back there.
What did he say?
He was like, okay, we'll get the other pilot to do it. So the other pilot was more experienced, went to do the pickup.
Okay.
But that's like, that flight, that's burned in my memory as probably the most intense flight I ever did.
Yeah, that sounds fucking scary, man. So many different pressures are like on you. Fuck.
So this is actually my favorite part of the flight. It's just staring at the north face of Logan because it is very like impressive. No, this is very scenic, like going to the King Trench. That's like as far as scenery goes, it's hard to beat. The surface is a little bit wind affected, so you can expect kind of a bumpy ride after we touch down. And also after we are on the snow, when we unload, standard reminder, only move this way.
Yeah, of course.
Don't move that way.
What happens if you move that way?
If you move that way, you'll be dead. Like,
the prop will kill you. Drop you up into little pieces.
Yeah.
I know, I just wanted to hear him say it.
Alright, the money shot's coming up. As the King Trench.
That's the route we're skiing. Woo!
Yeah.
And hang a hard left on up to Prospector Pass. Oh,
Here's the camp. Right there.
all right.
All right. So the total is $29.75.
Thank you, Flo. That's been beautiful, man. That was so good.
Welcome.
Yo, salud!
How about that flight though, huh?
Yeah. Where are we?
Spectacular.
What a playground.
Au revoir, Flo.
Bye, Flo.
Bye, Flo.
For 2 weeks, storms battered us as we pushed for glory. But that's a story for another day, so give us a like and a subscribe, and I'll promise I will work on that and get it up right away.
Logan had a few surprises left. Mechanical issues with the Helio Courier meant Flo was grounded and we were stuck.
Enter the Eurocopter AS350, truly the king of getting you unstuck in the mountains.
Since the prototype AS350 first flew on June 27, 1974, it's broken numerous records around the world and is the only helicopter to land at 8,848 meters on the summit of Mount Everest.
Okay, so it's not quite capable of actually lifting a passenger from the summit of Everest, but these airframes conduct countless rescue missions across the Himalaya each year.
To my delight, the heli didn't come empty.
Mein Name ist Javier Botella de Maglia.
Oh, it's very nice to meet you.
Aus Spanien. Ja, eine schöne Erfahrung, mit Ihnen zu sprechen, besonders auf Deutsch. Das ist ziemlich komisch hier in Canada. It's a pleasure. You're not only a professional pilot, but a good partner to fly with, and it's a pleasure, believe me.
Very good.
Good luck. Good luck, friends.
Thank you, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, I assume that you guys all flown in helicopters before?
Javier's love for the mountains shone brighter than the sun that day. I really wish we'd had more time to share stories. In 2024, he attempted Kazakhstan's highest peak, Khan Tengri, and didn't return. Rest in peace, brother.
Huge thanks to the pilots and guides for keeping us safe, and to Jenn for bringing me along. Mad respect to the OGs, H.M. Lang and Alan Karp, for capturing the magic 100 years ago. The inability to sit still, or ADHD as it's sometimes called, really pulls me in two opposing directions. These glistening white peaks promise so much, but so do the dark streets. I spent a few nights in Whitehorse drinking with native Patrick to see what Canada from below was saying, and yeah, it's a pretty heavy story. If you're interested, have a look at that. Or if you want to see me fly down from Camp 2 in a helicopter on Everest, check this out. Much love, and I'll be back soon. Take care.